Okay, so welcome everyone. We welcome the new people, the old people. I think we all should feel together new people. 'Cause first of all, it makes the new people less uncomfortable, excuse me. And secondly, when you knew, Noach will attest, that first day he walked into the Star Kinyan Shir and he said, where is everyone? I thought this was but either way, I want to go back. I want to go back to very basics of Kinyan because people have mentioned for good reasons, are we really doing Kinyan? What is Kinyan like? So I'll be honest, now I have an extra schus. I work with the founder himself, Rav David Newman. I have a claim to fame. The only claim to fame, I could say I'm Rav David Newman's boss. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only, he's a Rebbe in Sharitar. So I'm officially the Manals. I'm officially his boss, whatever that means exactly. But what it means is I get to hang out with Rav Newman a lot. I get to learn from him on a mamish daily basis.
You get to sit on
And
yeah,
whatever. That's a different story. But I want to just explain what really everything is. And I mamish have learned more about this in the last few weeks. This all came from Vaharavnan and how it all works. Kinyan, as I said to Rabbi Newman at last year's Shabbaton, I said, you're a genius. You reinvented the wheel by doing nothing. Every program in the world is a shtick. It's a program. It's a schedule. Kinyan is zero. Gemara. Just learn. Just learn. That is the whole model. It's remove all preconceived notions and just learn. So you're going to ask, well, if just learn, so what are we sitting here with all the food? So one of the beautiful things which food, presents, Geshmak Ezach bring, is it just allows you to be a little bit less, like, let down your guard a little bit, and I'm just here. I'm here. I'm enjoying. We're sitting here together on a Monday night. And what are we doing? We're enjoying. We're hacking. We're eating. It's Geshmak. It makes it a Geshmak Amatziv. So if you have a Geshmak Amatziv and then you have this evil item called a Gemara, it's like, okay, but at least it's Geshmak. And now maybe this evil item called a Gemara, we can make a Shmak also. That's really the model. Rabbi Newman, in his shir, every single Thursday has what he calls a Kiddush. And it's not a Kiddush what we think a Kiddush. Every single Thursday in Yeshiva, he serves. 1 week is milchiks, 1 week is fleishiks. And we're not talking about milchiks like a pie of pizza. We're talking milchiks like sushi and pies of pizzas and pastas and calzones and fleishiks. If you think this is, you're talking about sandwiches and poppers and the whole 9 yards every single week. Because everything, the chabura is be'etzem gishmak. And then with that comfortable feeling and that, okay, why am I'm going to share? I'm going to a place I enjoy. Oh, we're enjoying? Now, let's see how we could dive into the Gemaras. That's really step number one. I want to add on one more story. Another incredible Kinyan Chabura told me the first time he gave a shir, he's in a shul and he's giving a shir and he has a lavish spread like we have here. And the Rav comes in and the Rav says, oh, wow, what are you celebrating? You walk into such a matziv, you think he asked the Maggid Shir, what are you celebrating? He says, it's the siyam that we didn't make yet. But we're celebrating what we're going to get to, and it's a beautiful line. It's really Shlomo Melech Shtickle writes about this, and when we learn about what a siyam is, which we don't have the time right now, the makar of siyam comes from Shlomo Melech, that he made a party when he was kind of chachma. We all know the famous dream. Shlomo Melech, he had a choice, and he chose wisdom, and he made a siyam. And that's why we make a siyam. Frek to everyone, what's the siyam? So the siyam is on the Torah we're going to learn. It's a mistake. We think a siyam is on the past. It's not. It's now that we're kind of all that Torah, we can take that and we can move further. So it is a siyam. It's a party. It's gishmak. But let's talk a little bit about what.
The guy in Simchas Torah, he's the guy that dances because I think he learned that year. And then there's the guy who dances better.
Very good. What he's going to learn, and we can put the two together. So now let's talk about the actual learning and why many people in this chabura and other chaburas have remarked how incredible it is. And the answer really is. The real answer, and I really appreciate when the guys remind me, Rav, you told me we're going to chazer, and you told me we're going to go slow, and why are you flying? And I need that reminder, as I've professed many times. It's not my strong point. My strong point is just to go. Not very good at slowing down, but it's really to go very, very slow, very, very methodical, a lot of chazara. Why? Because when you do that, you start to realize, hey, this Chinese book in front of me isn't such Chinese. I actually understand it. And when Rabbi Newman talks about Chazara, it's beyond. And I actually begged him last year if he could speak at the big Kinyan event. And he told me, no. I said, please, just get up and talk about Chazara. he gets up and he says things like, so how many times you chazer Gemara? 40? 40. Are you crazy? What's 40? You don't even start your Gemara at 40. 50? 100. And he means it. And that's literally how he learns. And that's how Chaver learn. And when you learn that way, and I'll tell you, we learned Talmud before the summer, and then I learned Talmud in camp. And I spoke at the beginning of the year, our first year, we spoke about how, Shakla Vitaria, when you learn things again and again, you actually know them. And it's even if it's a difficult Gemara, you break down the steps, it's a kasha, teretz, a raya, and slowly it seeps into you. It's a Meir de Gazach. I'll end that the other Chabur on 60 Haley, which actually, when we started, I don't know if was anyone here at the original launch of Menachem's house, Tu B'Shvat, you were there 2 years ago. Anyways, these two guys from Haley show up. They put down nice bottles of alcohol on the table, and they spoke a little bit about their Chabura, and they spoke about changed their lives. These guys have come from zero to the point they walk home from shul on a Friday night. I'm not exaggerating. And we're not talking about Rabbonim, and we're not talking about Jungelite, and we're not. They walk home from shul on a Friday night saying over the Shakla Vitaria of the previous week's Gemara. That is the hack on their walk home. And I went to their siyum. These guys know how to party. These guys know how to party guns fine, and they know Gashmias, and they know it all. But Lamaisa, when you learn something and you learn it again and again and again, and then you could sit there and you could say, oh, the Mishnah says, oh, it's kosher, it's possible, right? Blah, blah, blah. That's Gishmak. And you walk in and it's a totally different world. So the design is as follows. The design is we have shir every night. Shir, only 4 times a week, Monday through Thursday. Shir is from 9:05 to 9:30. Now, I'm just going to be honest, 9:05 is closer to 9:10. That's just because I want to be strong on what it is. When you see 9:05 and you walk in at 9:06, which you're late, but you're still the first guy there. And then at 9:08, the second guy walks in and we start at 9:10 and it could be strong, but you already started with the feeling of like, come on. So the real answer is, and I don't think this is wrong, 9:05 you come, you get your Gemara, you get yourself settled. 9:10 is Shir is going to start. Shir is approximately 15 minutes. I want to keep strong to that, to leave those 5 minutes at the end for Chazara. So if you think about it, we learn in 15 minutes. What do we usually learn? I'm looking at a Gemara in front of me, between 8 lines, 10 lines, 12 lines, which is, by the way, about a half an amman of Gemara. An amman is usually about 20, 25 lines. So you learn that, and then you stop at the end of 5 minutes, and the real design, and we're going to try really hard. We're going back to the basics because I think everyone will enjoy it more. And the real design is you spend those last 5 minutes, you read through the Gemara. And the beauty is when you read the Gemara, and the best is you read it to Chavrus, and Chavrus reads back to you. That ends the day. The next day, throughout the day, Rabavi and you and really Shashi should get a lot of credit. Also, unfortunately, it doesn't work with him. But when you took over the chat, it changed the world. It changed the world. Many people told me, yeah, because when the Rav runs the chat, it's a shtickle like Begeder, policeman. But when it comes from the Chavra, it's Begeder. No, guys, who's chazering, and I know I've seen the chat on many occasions. I know a lot of guys chazer, and that is what Kinyan is. When I define the beauty of Kinyan. And I was a little bit upset last year, and I told it to him that on the video, I don't think they chap this nikuda, is that when someone at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in his office realizes, I don't have anything going on for like 7 hours, let me quickly chazer. And if he takes out his phone and he listens to the chazar that we send out, and I can't think Rabavi enough, he harasses me the perfect amount, and I'm horrible. He says, it's because Rav sent me a reminder. I said, Avi sent me earlier. He says me earlier. He reminds me. And he listened to it. That's incredible. You just change your whole day. You spent 4 minutes, you plugged in, you learned Gemara. The best is when you open your actual Gemara, many guys have taken their Gemaras with them, and you sit there, it could take, how long does it take? If we only learned 8 to 12 lines, what does it take? Another 4 minutes, another 7 minutes. You read the Gemara, you post in the chat, check, you post Chazer, I don't know, what do we post? Done? What are our guys post? A sticker, it's like Geschmack. A Kinyan sticker? Okay, good. I'm a big sticker guy. You know that. If I was there, I'd be creating my own stickers. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm not there. But you post it. And then when you post it, someone else in the chat, his phone dings. At the next point, he has a break in his work and says, oh, wow, he chazer. You know what? I'm going to hop a few minutes. That detail, that is the beauty of Kinyan. And I think that changes your life. That changes your whole day. Those 4 minutes, those 7 minutes is revolutionary. Many people have admitted this. I've heard this from guys within our chabura. I've heard this from guys in other chaburas. That changes it. And then the biggest thing is that when you come back to shir that night, it's not, oh, you learned the Gemara yesterday that you didn't understand, and you didn't chazer, and you didn't remember. It was a Gemara that was slow, you understood. You read it yourself. You chazered it the next day. Now you walk back in. Your mamish could continue. It's a beautiful thing. That is what Kinyan is, and that is the reason why when someone remarked, "Are we really doing Kinyan?" The answer is yes. I don't know how many chazars we get a day, but I think we get a nice handful. Is that accurate? I think we get a handful, and hopefully we'll get more of a handful. I'll tell you, Ravali Lapian, who we're sharing our Kinyan space with, which by the way we'll just talk logistics afterwards. But he told me, and he's very strong, that his success of his Kinyan shear is that he is a mamish, I don't want to use the word, a drill sergeant, we'll say. He makes the guys commit when they start in writing sometimes that they will not miss a day of Chazar. That's it. He says, if you miss a day of Chazar, that's it. It's not Kinyan. It's not Kinyan. I love you. You're not for my share. That's what he says. He told me he did the same. Roshragi Katz's Chabura started the same way. You do Ludwig's in the Chabur also. And then he comes to Shabbos. He posts every Shabbos, what's this week's Chazara? You have to Chazar, I think, once or two times over Shabbos. He's mamish. It's not my thing. I can't do that. I can't do that for many reasons. So I'm not going to. But what I will say is that anyone who approaches it that way and says, you know what, I'm really going to do it. I'm going to find that time. They are so happy. They are so happy. And this is not one of those like Rebbe tricks to convince you that they're so happy. Talk to the guys. Some of the guys here, yeah, have you been in Kinyan for how long? A while, and you see yourself the tkufas that your mom is into. It's a different world. So that's really the thing we're going to try. And lastly, and that's the reason why we try to recruit new people, is because everyone said that when we have this around the table, this is geschmack. But when a night comes, and I know it's going to happen, and it's okay. But when a night comes that it's two people, it's like, ah. So we're going to all try very hard. Obviously, people have part of the reason we're here is Rav Avi runs this year. His wife works late at night. That this pasha wasn't nice that he's going to miss the kickoffs. That's why we did it here. He was gracious enough to not just offer. But I didn't even ask him. He said, "Well, why don't we do it by me, please?" So Baruch Hashem. So really, the eitzah is that everyone should push to try their hardest to be there in person. The reason we're doing it at 9:05 at night is because that works better for people. So I know for other people they're tired. Maskim. So we'll have extra gishmak. We'll make sure we have extra food to keep you awake, extra candy to keep you awake. That's going to be the goal. But hopefully, b'siyata d'shmaya, we'll all see incredible success.